I hate England. I hate the United Kingdom. I don't feel patriotic about the country that I was born and raised in. I have a Union Jack hanging off my balcony, and if I had the chance, I'd take my son and run tomorrow. Run to the hills, run to another country, because to be honest with you, it absolutely sucks here. What do we have? Not a lot. Do we believe it's going to get better? No, to be honest, I don't. So, I've made a top 10 list of reasons why you should leave the UK, and today we're going to be going through this list. And if by the end of the video you think, the UK's not too bad, well then it's your funeral. And if by the end of this video you're thinking, oh, okay, maybe I should start looking at New Zealand or Canada or somewhere else to live, then yeah, fair play to you, and I hope that it works out for you, because right now, this country is failing. Everyone is leaving for one reason or another, and to be honest with you, do you want to be on this sinking ship? Because I don't. So, top 10 reasons why you should leave the UK, and yes, this is a very brutal list. But before we get into it, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who watched my last video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I have a link in the description if you want to, I don't know, buy me a coffee. The money will go towards my son's bed frame. Right, number 1. Exploding violent crime. Oh yes, violent attacks and murders have surged, including migrant-on-migrant cases. In May 2025, a Somali asylum seeker, Habe Nur, stabbed a bank customer, Danny Joel, to death in Derby after his asylum was refused. Oh, by the way, I can cite my sources for everything. Links in the description below if you want a nice read about England and the UK. Beautiful place. Sorry, let's keep going on with the exploding violent crime. In October 2024, a man from Sudan, a hotel resident who was 19, stalked and killed receptionist Rhiannon White at a Walsall train station. Beautiful, isn't it? In 2022, Afghan fugitive posing as a teen murdered Thomas Roberts in Bournemouth. A convicted triple killer from Serbia that UK officials failed to flag. Oops-a-daisy. Random motive-free killings are increasingly common. It's great, isn't it? Oh, sorry, gun and knife crime. Birmingham overtook London as Britain's gun capital. There you go, that's a fact that you might not have known. And the West Midlands now has the highest knife crime rate in the UK. Lovely. Street terror and attacks on bystanders has become routine. So be careful when you go outside, because there's crime around every corner. Lovely. Right, point number 2, economic collapse and cost of living crisis. Economy hit by inflation, stagnant wages and atrocity. Inflation peaked at 11.1% in 2022, highest in 41 years. But to be honest with you, I think it was higher than that. The real median income fell 2% in 2023 and 2024, which to be honest, again, I think it fell by more. By mid-2025, 70% of Britons faced major hike in food bills and energy. Yeah, trust me, I know. I pay like £300 a month for electric. I'm aware. It sucks. What are we going to do about it? I don't know. Have you seen the profits they've been making? It absolutely sucks. Trussell Trust, which is, this one's devastating. 1.4 million food parcels between April and September of 2024, which was up 69% since 2019. Obviously, they're not up-to-date statistics, but they would have changed and they would be a lot higher these days. JRF survey, 4.4 million poor families, 37% specifically, are behind on essential bills as of May 2025. And obviously, millions facing hunger, debt and destitution. I hate it. I could genuinely make a whole video on the economic collapse and cost of living crisis. So if you think I should, let me know in the comments below, because I honestly would really like to know. The NHS and public service breakdown. Oh yes, the one that we see in the news, which we're meant to love. Right. First point of it, waiting lists are at a record 7.7 million. I need an emergency operation, by the way. I'm on a waiting list for an emergency operation that I could die from if I don't have it. That's where I'm at. Thanks, but I'm in a waiting list. Great. Is what it is. 18-week treatment target missed for 9 years. Lovely. A&E 50% waited 4+ hours at the end of 2022, 39% still in 2025. When I was in A&E last, I don't know, like 12 hours, something like that. Ambulances. Category 2 calls averaged 90+ minutes versus 18-minute target. I mean, 90 minutes, to be honest, if you can get an ambulance in 90 minutes, well done to you. I genuinely have seen situations where ambulances have taken 12 hours. But yeah, no, that's fine. You know, just keep cutting our services. Severe backlogging in cancer and mental health and GP access. Love it. Love every single bit of it. Massive staff shortages and record resignations. You know, if in England and Wales, if working for the NHS, all the qualifications was free and you didn't have to pay for university, I'm sure we'd have a lot more people. Oh, and if you up the wages as well and you gave them a work-life balance, then yeah, sure, I think there'd be a better chance. You could have more people, it'd be great, we'd love it. But it's not the case. Patients often share hospital beds. Lovely. It's not lovely at all. Police are powerless as crime pays. Oh yeah, did you know that the police are powerless? Did you know that they've been cutting the police constantly? It's true. Everyone knows this. They've been cutting the police. Oh, then we let in all the asylum seekers. Regardless of what side you're on, you've already heard the crime statistics. So hearing that the police is cut kind of sucks. Right. 4,500 community officers have been cut since 2015. 12% of them still patrol. Arrests, prosecutions and crime solving have halved since 2010. Love it. 90% of reported crimes are unsolved. I was attacked by a migrant. That's unsolved. They didn't know who did it. Love it. 2 million people dropped without suspects, by the way. Yeah, again, I would love to know who attacked me. Thanks. We'll never know, to be honest with you, because, yeah, they closed the case. 74% of burglaries are unsolved. Even though we have extensive DNA testing these days, you should see it. I do a lot of DNA analysis myself. I know, weird, right? You can do that and they don't. It's fine. It is what it is. Armed gangs and drive-by shootings are now routine here in the UK. Did you know that? Funnily enough, I did, because I've heard shots, and it sucks because we're a country with no guns, apparently. Haha. Anyways, let's move on to the next point. Government corruption. Oh, I love government corruption and mismanagement. Beautiful, beautiful thing. UK corruption ratings are the worst since 2012, ranked only 20th globally. 135 high-risk deals costing £15.3 billion have been flagged for corruption. £4.1 billion went to Tory-linked firms. £1 billion were wasted PPE. $1 billion squandered through insider contracts and negligence. Post office scandal further eroded public trust. And deep-rooted nepotism and fiscal recklessness dominate governance. See, that's just the start with the government. Obviously, in recent times we've had a lot more updates, and I don't think I'm going to be going into digital IDs and stuff today. Whatever you feel about the government is obviously your choice, but these are some of the main points, and when you actually do some research into the government, it sucks. Just remember this, as I left on a few people's comments in my last video. We are private citizens, and the government is a public entity. They should know nothing about us, and we should know everything about them. So why is it the other way around? Because it shouldn't be. Next point, racial and cultural unrest. I love racial stuff, and I'll get into it in a second. Summer 2024, 29 anti-immigration riots in 27 towns within a week. Far-right mobs attacked mosques, asylum hotels, arson and looting rampant. Over 1,280 rioters arrested, which was the worst since the 2011 riots. Hate crimes and racially motivated knife attacks are now frequent. Britain's social cohesion is fracturing under race-based violence. So in regards to race, it sucks, you know. I hate it. I hate everything to do with racial attacks, regardless of what country you're from. No attack should be race-based. Technically, I dealt with racism. You know, you'd think because I've got the white card, because I'm white, I should be fine, but I'm not. I share a surname with only 11 other people, and it's always, where are you from? No, where are you really from? That's what I get these days. But when I was at school, I was told to go back to my own country, and it got violent a couple of times, and it's funny because I was born 20 miles up the road. So it wasn't funny, obviously. It was absolutely horrible, you know, and it's very difficult dealing with my legal surname. It's been horrible. But honestly, it's nothing compared to what people have to deal with on a daily basis, you know. I'm just saying my experience, but a lot of people have to deal with it far, far worse. Skin colour, everything, and to be honest, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. So, yeah. Next one. Migrant influx and destabilisation. Destabilisation of the UK? How could that be? 2024, 37,000 channel crossings, which was up 25% year on year. 73 migrant deaths in 2024, more than the prior years combined. Local housing, healthcare and schools are now overwhelmed. Violent incidents involving irregular migrants heighten public fear. And southern England increasingly described as a crisis zone. As a person from South England, not living there right now, but as a person from South England with all his family and friends there, yes, no, it absolutely sucks. Seriously, I was in Crawley, West Sussex, a few weeks back, and I felt safer in Ukraine. I've been to Ukraine. I was in Ukraine this time 8 years ago, or whatever it was, 7 years ago. 2018, I was in Ukraine, and I felt safer in Ukraine. And I got stopped by the army, and I'd had guns at my head and stuff, and I felt safer there than I did in Crawley, West Sussex. Says a lot. Says a lot. Luckily, I'm not from Crawley, but I have friends there, and it sucks. Housing crisis and homelessness. Oh yeah, don't we love the housing crisis and homelessness? As a person who was homeless as a minor at 17 years old, it's always interesting to read the homeless statistics. I've had friends who have been homeless. I've been homeless. I had a friend who was in the shelter at one point. So yeah, shelter, December 2024, 354,000 people homeless. That is 1 in 160 people, up 14%. And bear in mind, this was almost a year ago, these statistics, so things have likely changed. 161,500 children are affected. In London, 1 in 47 people are homeless. In Manchester, 1 in 61 people are homeless. And in Birmingham, it's 1 in 62 people are homeless. As well as that, obviously, we have the massive rent rises, mass evictions, and decimated social housing stock. 326,000 in temporary housing, which is up 17% year on year. 4,000 people sleep rough nightly. Don't get me started on that, because I have something to say about that, right? Streets overrun by tents, addicts and squalor. Right, yes, I have seen more tents recently in the street and I hate it. But one thing I'd like to say is they made sleeping rough legal, right? I don't know why, right? I remember seeing this. This was this year, 2025, right? They made sleeping rough legal, and they said they did it so homeless people didn't get moved on, right? I completely disagree with that. I do not believe that's why they did it. I believe they did it because then if you go to the council and you go, I need to be housed because my rent has jumped up £800 a month or whatever and you can't afford it, or you're in a horrible situation, you've had to escape, they can turn you away and say, well, it's legal to sleep on the street. Now, in 2017, I was told that my car was a roof over my head, but I'm glad I slept in my car over sleeping on the street. So it angers me what the government's done. They've made being homeless legal. It sucks, absolutely sucks. But then they're trying to ban van lifers, which is just, that's a whole separate issue that I get very angry about. But it's fine. It's not fine. It's not. I'm sure I can make tons of videos on this, but it is what it is. Right. Drug and addiction-driven crime. Oh, yes, drugs, pugs, not drugs. Or should I say drugs, not pugs, for this next point. 300,000 heroin/crack addicts. Yeah, I know. Commit 50% of burglaries and robberies. There's the fact that there's over 300,000 in this country is just crazy. Drug causes 3,000 overdoses deaths yearly. 3,000 people die of overdoses. It sucks. Half of all murders are drug-linked. Addicts drive street thefts, home invasions, and open-air drug markets. And entire estates and city centres plagued by narcotics and violence. Regardless of your view on drugs, whether you think they should all be legal or not, they destroy families, they destroy homes, they destroy lives, and it is absolutely disgusting. I think that we need as much help as we can, and we need to get things cleared off the street. And rather than just chucking these people in prison where they can just get it brought in anyway, we need to help people. And this is the thing that the UK struggles with, is helping people. Oh no, sorry, it helps loads of other countries sending billions of pounds abroad and helping them, but it doesn't help its own. So, you know, everyone's got a story and everyone's in a position for a reason, and it does suck. So, I've never been an addict, but I have known someone who has been, and it sucks. Just remember, everyone's there because of their own story, and we should be helping these people. But that doesn't dismiss the fact that they're all over 300,000 of them commit burglaries and robberies, for goodness sake, and no one's doing anything about them. And last, but certainly not least, military and defence collapse. 2025 review admits workforce crisis. Armed forces down 8% since 2022. Army is the smallest in 300 years, 70,860 soldiers, which is below the 73,000 target. Troop exodus exceeds recruitment. Starmer's 2.5% GDP pledge rising to 3%, shortfall of NATO's 5% goal. Navy, RAF and Army are all severely under-equipped. UK defence capacity now dangerously thin amid rising global threats. Now, one thing that isn't on the list that I should have put on the list is the fact that a lot of people were applying for the RAF and they weren't getting it because of their skin colour, because they were choosing the ethnicity card. Now, to be honest with you, I've seen that in the workplace, and even when I've tried to send up a CV, having a foreign surname has not gone in my favour multiple times. But to be honest with you, I'd rather have someone who's good at the job. I don't care if they're white, black, Asian. I don't care. But trying to hit some sort of quota just because they're black, I'm sorry. If the army was all white, I'd rather have an all white army if they were better, well equipped than black people. But again, it works both ways. I'd feel the same if the white sucked and you wanted all Asians. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter on your race. It matters on your preference and how good you are. Now, I obviously worry about the RAF and the military quite a lot. You guys might not know why. I have a brother in the RAF, so, you know, just, yeah. And just to recap the list in reverse this time, don't worry, I'm not going through all of it. Military and defence collapse, drug and addiction-driven crime, housing crisis and homelessness, which I can make a series on, because I'm so angry with everything homelessness related. Migrant influx and destabilisation of the economy, don't we just love that? Racial and cultural unrest, love it. Government corruption and mismanagement, again, we all know a lot, and I'm sure there's more that I could find out that we're all shoving under the carpet and not noticing. Powerless police and crime, love it. Don't you just love it that the police are just, I don't know, arresting people for tweets, right? I saw a post online which said, we have freedom of speech here in England, and don't say otherwise we'll arrest you. Something along those lines. It's kind of funny, to be honest with you. Next, obviously, was the NHS and public service breakdown. Before that, obviously, was the economic collapse and cost of living crisis. And finally, exploding violent crime. Oh yes, we absolutely love it. Again, all of the sources are going to be linked in the description below. And if you did get this far in the video and you've heard all of this, let me know what country you're choosing and moving to. Because if it's Australia or New Zealand, I have a lot of followers there, which is kind of cool. So, you know, comment below and you might find someone, which is awesome. What country are you going to move to? Let me know in the comments below, because I'd really like to know. What subjects would you like me to cover next? Or should I just rant again? Because to be honest, I'm getting angry just making this video and reading this list, thinking I have 1,000 different videos that I'm going to complain about and rant because I'm sick to death of everything, and I want my voice to be heard. I want my voice to be heard. Rather than just sitting on it, I want my voice to be heard. I'm done now, okay? So bye, enjoy, buy me a coffee, link in the description below if you want to put some money towards my son's toys and new bed frame. Cool, bye.